So in this video, we're going to talk about using the tool extract by mask to essentially clip a raster data set to a feature class. So what I've done at this point is I've created a layer from selected features as we outlined in previous lessons, and I have my Deschutes County here. I can change the color of this to hollow and make it to where you can see through, but we want to basically capture this raster information inside of the Deschutes County polygon. So to do that, we're going to use a tool that's under our Spatial Analyst suite of extensions here to do that. So some of you have probably been getting some errors that the tool doesn't work or you don't have authorization to use the tool. You just need to enable it. So how we do that is up under the Windows, under the Customize toolbar here under Extensions, and we just need to actually turn it on. So as long as you authorize these when you signed up with GIS in Arc Administrator, you should be able to enable them. So I'm going to turn on 3D Analyst because we're going to use that in the future, as well as Spatial Analyst. So those two tools I'm going to enable and click Close. Now basically what we want to do is capture this raster information within Deschutes County. So we need to go to Arc Toolbox. Now, if it was a feature class, we could actually do it inside our geoprocessing tool Clip, like we've used for other feature classes. So the extract by mask is under the Spatial Analyst. So I'm going to click on that, and then it's actually under extraction, and be under extraction here, and then when I click on the plus, we're going to use the extract by mask. Now there's a variety of different ways that you can do this as well. We can extract by polygon. That tool generally doesn't work as well for me in my previous experience. Extract by point, just different methods to do this, but we're going to use this extract by mask. Most of the time, you can do this without a failure. So we're going to actually just pull this data here, which is rating fire risk essentially. And so we're going to grab that raster, and then our extraction tool is going to be my Deschutes County feature class that I created there. And then I've set this up over here as the default geodatabase. So how you do that is just right click on it and make it the default geodatabase. So then that will actually send any files that I create directly to that geodatabase as a feature class. So we'll see it pop up here. It's going to give it its own name, which sometimes I do that, just take the default, because GIS will basically pull this name from it and maybe add another descriptor on the end of it, just so you know that the files are different. We can always rename it later. So we're going to hit OK. The tool, depending upon the size of your raster and the size of your overall data set, it may be in the speed of your computer and so forth. It may be fairly slow, or it may be relatively quick. And so now I'm going to turn that layer off. You can see that it processed. It created this background file here, or this file here, and we can turn off our Deschutes County and then there zoom in. And the only reason that the data is showing differently is because we have not changed the value fields here. So you need to actually get into it and looking at the Excel, there's an Excel spreadsheet that goes with this data. We can change that. So we had a total of 5 different characteristics. So we need to actually change that from so that it would look something more like what we had over here. We double click on this. You're going to see I use this classified method, and the book does a really good method of breaking that down, and then I just relabeled that. So we'll have to actually do that over here as well. Change it into 5 classes, and then you're going to want to change your color ramp as well. You can do that, just depending upon what you want in terms of the overall show. So we can change that as no data. This will then show up in your attribute table correctly. or in your legend. And then that will be the layer that you would want to use as your raster background. So hopefully that clears up a little bit. We can right click and zoom to that layer, and you'll see that we have it within Deschutes County, and you don't have to have the overall layer on. You've just essentially clipped, or using the extract by mask tool, extracted the raster data set. Now you can do that with any raster data set, and in future lessons, we're gonna do that with aerial imagery. The nice thing about that is you can go in and change the background of that aerial image. So depending upon how you're symbolizing it, a lot of times with aerial images, you're going to use this maybe stretched version of it, and you can apply a hill shade effect, or if you look at, I think there, let's see here, we're going to go back to stretched. There's a way we can change the overall transparency of that layer. I believe it's under our display here, so we can change our transparency and make that like 70% transparent. And then what it'll show, maybe it's a little too light, it'll show the rest of the data outside of our image, or rest of the imagery outside of our area of interest, and then it kind of highlights that area within, in this case, Deschutes County, that we want the reader to be able to focus on. So if I zoom, I'll go back to this layer. I have to go back and change my colors, but with an aerial image, it makes a lot more sense than what we're doing here.